Welcome back to S&K on the Road. I'm Kathy and this is Shawn. And this week we want to talk about something that we kind of gave you a hint about in our last video, and it's the kind of adventure, or how do I say it?
Next phase in our camping.
Yeah, next phase in our camping life. And if you're new here, we're Shawn and Kathy, and on this channel we talk about our adventures in RV living and as we go into our retirement years. So Shawn, do you want to start off?
So we did a thing. You can see the background's a little different because we purchased a new trailer. There's nothing wrong with our old trailer. It's good. Why we did it now? Well, we went and bought a Rockwood 2816 RD. We owned a Rockwood before. Um, we uh, we liked our old Rockwood. Rockwood has a lot of things standard that's optional on you know standard trailer. Like they have a torsion suspension. They get they come with the inverter already. It's a good quality trailer. So, but why now? Because some of the new tech came out, which I really enjoy, and I plan to retire. So while I have that income, I'm not retired yet. While I have that income, we can work through the deal a little better. Uh, and then Rockwood too. Like I said, we like the Rockwood. They didn't have this layout in their lineup until 2025. And you guys, I'm sure if I'm wrong, you're going to correct me on comments, but we didn't see it in one that we would buy. And then in 2025, they had it, but they didn't have the fireplace in it. Now in 2026, they do have the fireplace. So we got it with all the latest tech, with all this stuff. And if this thing doesn't go long enough, I'll make a separate video about the tech. But we want to really talk about the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And, there was nothing really wrong with the other trailer. And what really helped us transition to this one is it's pretty much the same layout, but a little bit better. And when I say better, it's because we're sitting at the dinette and we have this huge window behind us right now, where before our theater seats were in front of this huge window. So we always wanted it reversed. So there were some things one of the things I had to give up that I wasn't happy with, and that was the central vac, because that's really important. But I just got myself a handheld vacuum cleaner. But other than that, it kind of has a smaller feel. It is two feet
shorter.
2 feet shorter than the Grand Surveyor we had. So we kind of feel that. The interior is a darker color, so I think that makes it even seem a little bit smaller. But you know what? We're adjusting, and as you'll hear in the process, the whole process that we went through doing this, we're still camping. So I'll let Shawn talk to you about the whole transition.
Yeah. So, like you said, we had the camper parked where we are now at Don Lane, and we were doing the gas saver, which is you pay for the weekend, and then Monday through Friday they let you keep your camper here for $3 a night. $15, I couldn't tow the camper home and back, so it was working out nice. So when we thought about doing this, we thought just like our last video, which you can post on here somewhere. That's why we discussed shakedown. We want to shake this down. We want to camp with it right away. We were making the deal on Wednesday, so we're like, okay, Tuesday I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna empty everything out as much as I can that I'd be comfortable leaving on the site for that afternoon, and put some stuff in my truck and be ready to transfer or switcheroni these trailers, right? So, although I was working that morning from the trailer and it was a busy morning work, so I didn't quite get as much done as I would have liked. The night before I did a whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, that probably could have gone better. I probably should have taken the whole day. We get down there. this sales process went pretty good. I was running late, so I was at least 15 minutes late, maybe a little more. Getting our trailer down there, getting down there, and then once I got it there, they wanted me to park it in a certain spot, blah blah blah, and then the signing the paper and the deal that all went pretty smooth. Actually, actually, I think it went really smooth.
That part went really well. Yeah, she was very organized.
As anybody who's bought cars and stuff, just whatever. But then we waited and waited and waited to get the walkthrough done. Now I'm thinking and I'm transferring my weight distribution hitch. I'm doing it myself. They're not doing it for me. Saved a couple bucks. And we gotta still move a bunch of stuff one camper to the other. So then we're waiting and waiting and waiting for that. Finally, we do the walkthrough. It's pretty good. I mean, I had a lot of questions about the new tech on this and how that works and blah 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 blah. So we went through that, and then we finally we're done with that, and then they're like, "Oh, you got to do a store walkthrough." I'm like, oh, well, at that point, she had one of the dogs. The other dog had been at home for an extended amount of time, so she's like, "I'm gonna just empty my car into the trailer and then go." So, okay. So I stood around this store for a good half hour waiting to do the store tour. And then the store tour really didn't tell me nothing, but they're giving you a $50 gift certificate. And that took another half hour. So there's another hour shot. And now it's like 4:30, something like that.
Yes, our appointment was at 1:30, and at that point it was 4:30 for him, and he's by himself, and he has all this stuff to do yet.
Yeah, so I just hook up first to the trailer, drag it around so it's next to the trailer we dropping off.
Oh, yeah.
And then started transferring stuff. And transferring and transferring and transferring. And I'll get into more of the missteps a little bit.
But he was doing this all by himself. I kind of thought someone would be there helping him, someone from the dealership.
They were getting ready to leave and go home for the day.
They were closing at 5.
So I got that done. And matter of fact, the guy came out. Like, "Are you done yet?" Like, he was waiting to go. So I think at 6:00 he came out, and then I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done." And then he opened the door, and I was like, the last keys and everything are on the table in there. And he opened the door. I'm like, "Oh, that's our broom hanging there." So like, he gave me the broom, but I missed stuff.
One big major thing you missed.
Well, one thing I did incorrectly. So we had a Suburban grill we got with the old camper, but we've been using a Blackstone grill. Both of them have these black covers. So I'm like, "Oh, that grill's in the truck. That must be the Blackstone. And that one's in the pass-through, so that must be the Suburban. I must have put it in there already." Wow. Nope, wrong ones. Yeah, so then I'm taking my time trying to make the adjustment. So I got to move the brackets from the old trailer to the new trailer for the let's call it weight distribution hitch, and have to measure where they go and take all these measurements and doing all this stuff and measure, try to get the trailer on a level surface and get the right hitch height and all that stuff. And which I still want to redo all that because I feel I was rushed and I just don't feel it was right. So anyway, that's a long story short, but yeah, that process was brutal. And I didn't get back up here till it was dark.
Well, there is something you did miss. One of the major things that he forgot was to get the license plate off our old trailer and put it on the new trailer. So he drove an hour without a license plate on our new trailer.
On the turnpike.
On the turnpike, Pennsylvania Turnpike. And hopefully we're not going to get any fines or anything like that. We've been told that we should be fine. But so while all that was going on, I was at home with the dogs. And like he had mentioned, I had already packed up my car with a bunch of stuff that we were going to bring for the, camping in the upcoming week. And I had, I even unloaded some of the stuff from this camper to make it easier to empty it out. So I'm at home waiting for this poor guy who's doing all the transitioning at the dealer I'm waiting with the dogs, and I didn't want to take all the refrigerated and frozen items, up until I didn't even want to pack it yet until I got the go ahead from him that he was on his way to the camper. So he had an hour drive. I have about a 45-minute drive. And as it turned out, that's the part that kind of worked out. We kind of got here at the same time, but it was already dark. So I believe this was your first time having to back a trailer into a campsite in the dark. And
Yeah.
I parked my car, I put the lights on, but like he said, once the trailer blocked my lights, he just couldn't see.
Yeah, and there's no backup camera on here yet. And, I mean, so even, a lot of times they would pick stuff up in the dark, even, but yeah, it was tougher than I anticipated. I'd already, when I'd left, I'd set cones out where to shoot for already from where the old trailer was sitting. So I had a better reference of where I wanted to be, and I kind of was, concerned about it being dark and everything. So yeah, I mean, it was rough. And then some more of the missteps. Well, with the plate, we got them to
Overnight.
yeah overnight. We took the old one off, and I mean, I didn't even think about it till I was pulling off the turnpike. I'm like, yeah, they just read your plates now. I'm like, plate. Ah! So it was a mix. Normally dealers move plates,
Yep.
but when we got there, she was going to give us a new plate, and I was like, hey, I don't want that. I said, I'm paid all the way to 2027 on the registration. I want to transfer. I don't want to pay for 2 more years of registration. So, oh, okay. So then she did the transfer and said, oh, don't forget when you go out there to move your plate. Well, I had so many things I was doing.
Well, and a lot of times, like he said, the dealers help you with that stuff. Now, I don't know what was going on there. We do, not to bash the dealer or anything, because the salesman she was really good in this whole deal, and with helping us get a lot more money for our trade that we expected to get, and that's why we did the deal. However, she had 2 other deliveries that day. But anyway, back to this whole transition. So when I pulled in, I saw, what the site looked like. This poor guy, I mean, he did so much. I'm so blessed to have a husband who's willing to take on all this stuff while I was just at home taking care of the dogs. But when we finally got the trailer settled and opened the door, we had a lot to do. I mean, it was probably about 7:30 by then,
yeah.
and maybe even later. Way past my pajamas on time, and we just had a lot to do, and our priority was at least to get the bedroom set up, and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just moving stuff in. Boom! On the floor, on the couch, on the, whatever. There was things in the bathroom that should have been in the bedroom, and it was all just mixed up. It was just one big mixed up
Yep.
mess. It was bad. So, yeah, I mean, things could have gone way better. I mean, that look back now is kind of funny.
Yes.
But then, this is why we did the last video again, shakedown. So, we are sleeping away finally, exhausted from a day
Oh yeah.
that was eventful, to say the least. I'd gotten up to go to the bathroom in the night. She gotten up to go to the bathroom, and I see the lights on in there, and I'm waiting for like something wrong. Finally, she's like, Shawn, go tell her what you saw.
There was huge puddle of water. And if you know anything about campers, water and campers is not something that you want to mix. And it was just soaked. Underneath, it was in my pantry, it was in the bathroom storage closet, it was in the kitchen area. My carpet was soaked almost by the door. So I should have taken pictures, but I didn't. I just wanted, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I just wanted to get it cleaned up. And, I called him out, and it's still a mystery.
Yeah, so I pulled panels apart to, well, first shut the water off, right? I pulled the panel apart to get to the pump and all the where the water comes into the trailer. I checked some of those fittings. The area there seemed dry. Like I put my hand across and I'm coming up with fingers of dust, right, from construction dust and things. I'm like, I don't think it leaked here, but some of these fittings, I was able to give them a little bit, just hand turning them. I know wrenches on. I know some of these, and I gotta say this about Rockwood: the flexible hose fittings are the right ones. They're not like you'll probably watch YouTube. Just watch YouTube's on RV plumbing. There's a lot of issues out there, and then also under the sink for the kitchen, I also went under there, and everything was bone dry, and the fittings there seemed tighter. Now later we did see a drip come out of the toilet fitting, which I hadn't checked before, and so I tightened that one. Now, since that, and we told the dealership about it, so we had, and she made a video documenting it. Since then, it hasn't happened again. So the
Yeah,
night before, I took a shower. We don't know. We've taken other showers since. We don't know.
and she had even mentioned that, they washed the trailer, they washed the rig before we picked it up. So maybe there was water setting somewhere, but, kind of insinuating it would have came out of, the ceiling somehow. I don't know. We have no indication of how, and we did not spill anything. I know someone will say, well, you spilled something or the dog spilled something. No, and it wasn't dog urine or anything like that. It was clear water, clean, clear, fresh water. So it's a total mystery, but I'm grateful that it hasn't happened again. And we did document it just in case, and we got it mopped up as soon as we could.
Yeah, I went up on the roof, checked the seals from the roof. You would have thought, though, if there was water like that and me driving in an hour, it would have came out some way or another. But
Yeah.
it's still a mystery, a little concern. We're going to move this trailer again come Sunday, and then we'll see the next campground. We're doing that shakedown, like I said, our last video. Making sure we can get everything tested.
So before we end this, because I know this is long, make sure you check out the video that we made. Sean did a video on, you tell them what it's about. That outside stuff, I have no
I
idea.
had gotten new sewer hose supports, so I made a little video trying them out. Of course, we're trying this trailer out, and so we'll keep you updated on the channel. Like, that's our plan anyway, to update how we do. And also, if you've had some sort of eventful day like we had, leave it in the comments below. People read those. We read each comment so far, so we appreciate your support.
Yeah, and that's why we share it. We share it so that if someone's watching, they know what not to do, and just from our experience. But so that's about it for this video. I know it was long, but stay tuned. We hope that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified of when we put up our next video, which hopefully will be sooner than a whole week, because we still have a whole week of camping left for the season. So that's it for now. Again, have a wonderful day, and
God bless.